Alright. Hey everybody, it's me, Anime. Welcome back to more title screen. So last time, which was it yesterday? I don't think it was yesterday. No, it's like 2 days ago. We finished, we watched the update trailer and PV. We finished Garden Mayhem. That's, the most of the stream anyway. Yeah, so this time we're gonna be doing the Back from Bygone update. I haven't logged in yet, as you can tell. So I don't know what's in store. I know we're getting like her for free, I think, but it's probably gonna be like in the second half of the update as usual. So yeah, as always, grab a snack, grab a drink, have daily water because that's what's best for you. Check your posture and hope you enjoy the stream. And let's get into it. Hello? Okay. We get our outfit right away on the first login. Life goal for Yao the Quiet Quitter. The login of the month. I skipped over that. I don't know what that was. New skin collection. I was scared for a sec that she went off screen, but okay. Okay, so we have the Echoed Oath bundle, which is completely censored. Holy frick. Echo of Destiny. Darling, our encounter was a miracle of time. Loves your own magic. I want to walk this path with you to give you all of me, and head towards our promised future until the end of time. Diamond Oath. Embellished with blooms and diamonds celebrating love, it conveys an eternal pledge to the one dearest to the girl's heart. For this bundle, you also get the interactable scene. I believe it's the one shown in the trailer where you can, like, basically hang out with her. Covenant of Chrono. Chrono means time. Interesting. The Trigger Field's final stage is her final... What am I saying? The Trigger Field's final stage is her carefully planned ending. After countless lonely victories, she finally awaits her beloved to share the happy ending. Right, then we have Silkfin Veil Bundle. This is for, is it Freefin? I think it's, her skin is called Freefin. It's for Sirius. Sirius Freefin, yep. Silkfin Embrace. The moon looks like it's shining just for us tonight. Every moment with the Adjutant, every view we see is so bright and beautiful. How I wish this trip would never end. Lotus Veil, which is a skin. Wings partially cloak the gun, while the Lotus Bud prepares to bloom, reflecting the unique romance and subtlety of Shouzo. If Mia's is... I believe it's her second skin collection bundle. Frolic of Clouds. Mia's back from a big shopping spree in Shouzo, Adjutants. Adjutant, I've got so many things to share with you. Heart Ablaze. With a design inspired by Shouzo's traditional festivals, its exaggerated flowing fire lines and striking color accents made it an instant hit the moment it launched. I would like it, yeah. I believe, yeah, that's all we have for the new update for now. There's probably going to be a second wave. Why is this still... Why is there still a notification here? Is this new? There's a trial, it might be new. To some degree. I wonder, all of these though, yeah, all of these are the ones you can interact with. Okay, so they're all not F2P. And I don't think there's duplicates for characters? Yeah. This was shown, I don't remember if this was shown in the last trailer, but I recall seeing it somewhere. I don't recall seeing these though. I think maybe it's these two I remember. Not so much for this and this. This feels more like, Strenova. We get a lot more new bundles, unless they're just refreshes, and also this looks different. I don't recall this looking like, well, this. There's your daily extra stamina. There we go. Mail, sailing into the new year. So this is from the official team. It's for Lunar New Year. It came out today, I believe. 7:35, so that's roughly when I logged in. Limited time, yep. Maintenance. I don't know how long this lasts, but it's for maintenance. And this is for the new update. Okay. As always, we have a new battle pass. Make sure to, go check it out, maybe buy it if you want to. Right, there's probably a new Paper Dreamland update. Or, yeah, Paper Dreamland update. I don't think I have access to the new content. I'm not sure. I really don't know. It's not like I'm a big fan of Paper Master, not Paper Masters, Paper Dreamland. Oh, they're, I don't want to say they copied Genshin or Star Rail, but, you know, they certainly did it first. I don't think they were the first, but they did it earlier than this. So once you complete a character's trial or outfit trial, you don't have to do it again. You can just claim the rewards. And I guess it claims for all of them, so that's nice, so you don't have to click through all of them individually. So we have a new skin. This is for Acacia's new... it's not a skin, sorry. It's for Acacia's new form, which is Chrono Echo. Chrono means time once again, and Echo, so it's an echo through time. Which I guess kind of makes sense given how Acacia has grown up when she uses her skill or ult. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, let's check it out. We only have her this time. Usually they would give you like 1 or 2 other characters to like support, but no, you just get her here. Fire and use Acacia's over the moon edges in combat. Oh! So it is a 4-hit burst. Tap standard skill charge. Can I hold it? Well, I guess holding is just shooting more. E is a skill. What does that do? Okay, we can change forms. There is this blue form. Okay, I'm gonna look at the middle of the screen. Under my crosshair, you see like there's a 15 and a crescent. In the middle of the crescent, there's a moon icon and the this like hooded figure icon. I'm not quite sure what's the difference. You told me to switch to awakened state, so that's probably her grown-up state. Base core routine, I believe that's what she said. So you have this massive single target attack or single hit attack. I don't know if it has penetration. There's a skill. Okay, that's good. Good range. Not sure about the damage because these are just small units. How long does our ult last? After training, when Acacia is in her awakened state, hitting a target with a shot applies when time scar to it and grants Acacia 1 phase energy. When her status skill hits a target with max time scar stacks, Acacia gains 3 stacks of Radiant Tide and additionally gains 2 phase energy. Huh. And time scar. So in combat, you want to max out your time scar to an enemy. And then when they have enough stacks of time scar, you use your skill. Okay. What is what though? Am I okay? The number at the bottom, is that phase energy or is that time scar? Yeah. And there's that as well. Training Acacia is Awakened State and has 6 Radiant Tide stacks. Okay, so these are Radiant Tide. Okay. Radiant Tide stacks. Hold center skills to consume Radiant Tide and unleash the slash beyond time. Hitting a target grants 6 phase energy. Continue firing Timeful Blades to apply time scar on the target. Using standard skill on it grants Radiant Tide again. It's okay. She feels like her mechanic with this feels like Burden Dew. It's not exactly 1-to-1 of Burden Dew because there's no reaction to this game, but it feels like it. Okay. So you have Time Scar. I believe that's Time Scar, and now we can use our skill. Now we have Radiant Tide, so we can hold it. Okay. What are these, though? Okay, there's a bit of lag, but how do I say this? You can explode her ult, but I don't know what advantage you would have for exploding her ult. Does it just give you like a massive nuke? Okay, I don't know how things work. Let's just use our ult first, see how... Okay, what's what? Like, what's phase energy and what is it? She feels clunky to use. She doesn't have an ult sprint. What if I just hold it without the charge? Okay, I can't use a hold if I don't have enough charges. Okay. Okay, I think I get how she works, but she is a bit complicated. That's your outro. Oh. She said, I'm glad you like it. I wonder if there's a different outro animation if you use it, if you like get the outro when you're in her ult form and like outside of it. Because I assume if you don't use her ult, then that's probably her animation. Right? Then let's see, we have, okay, that's a login. Event calendar. Okay, this is good. This is good. I think Star Rail has this. I don't know if Genshin has it, but you don't have to, like, at least in Genshin and Star, you used to need to go online to check it out or go to HoloLab. I can do it in game. I think Star Rail or like Genshin can do it in game now as well, but through the in-game web browser. But in Snowbreak, you can just do it in game. You don't have to, you know, open another. I guess you have to open a menu, yes, but you don't have to open a new window or tab. Which for a game like Delta Force, for example, that system is horrible in Delta Force. Let's see, where is the free unit? I believe it's here. Yeah, check in, so you get her for free. Send rewards, and we have like 5 new skins. Okay, so this is for the new form of Keisha. By getting the bundle, you get her outfit, unique voiceovers, new display and the victory animation. What is this? Skill visuals, it's normal. And interactable scene, so that's the one you need to buy with the 90 premium currency. Yeah, see, we gotta support. Also, don't know why, but for the past like couple streams, Twitch has been getting like an unstable connection, even though like it's getting enough bitrate. It's just not getting enough frame rates for some reason. I'm gonna use the ult. Okay, it's not that different. Does it have aim assist? Not aim assist, but like, does it have like aimbot? Soft aim? It has soft aim, yeah, I'm aiming pretty far, not like, only like 10 degrees off. Roughly 10, and I can still hit them, so it's, you know, for mobile players. Okay, can I get the... Okay. No? I thought I had enough charges. Okay, yeah, I can't really build the Radiant Tide or whatever because they die too fast. Okay, let's see what the ult looks like. Like the ult explosion. Yeah, it's not that different. I still don't know what the phase change does. Oh, you get more full-up attacks, I think. So right now, if I do it like this, you get those like cross-pattern attacks. But change it back to the moon shape, the moon state. Oh, I get it. It's a single target and multi-target. So the moon is multi-target. This hooded one is for like, you know, that hooded figure is for like the boss icon. As you can tell, it only hits that unit. If I switch back to my crescent state, it hits nearby units as well. Okay, let's try if using the ult would give a different outro. It might or it might not, I'm not sure. And also it could be different depending on the skin. Nope, it just switches you back to normal. Okay. By you, I mean Acacia. It might be my low graphics quality, but that moon in the back is like... It's very rigid. Okay, excuse my poor computer. We have... Okay, this is a new skin. We have... Okay, it's either a new skin or like an old skin rerun. Okay. So Nightfall Scar for Life the Wild Hunt. We have a new voiceover, the skin itself. Now better display victory animations and new skill visuals. No interactable scene. A pretty old unit if it's getting if we're getting her as a support. Because newer supports seem to be just serious. Or series, sorry. I forgot to close the tab. That might be one. How am I uploading 70 frames to Twitch? What? I have a frame rate count of 60. How are you uploading 70 frames? I just looked at Twitch and I just saw like, okay, why is it like excellent connection now instead of... Because I get once you use the skill, it just launches a bunch of attacks. So I can see now. I think I have the Wild Hunt. Yeah, so you do normal attacks to build up the charges, and then once you have enough charges, you can just use your skill, and their skill uses more attacks. Okay. What does the all look like? Reminds me of a zombie's one of the zombie's skin from Siege. Her left butt cheek is going through her whatever garment that is. Well, it was, yeah. It does crop up sometimes. Very tame. Yeah, Twitch is still getting good connection. Is it because I complained? It's at 70 frames again! What the hell? Is it because I closed one tab? Is that why? No, it can't be. Now it's back at 50. Now it's 70 again. Okay, what is going on? Okay. Next we have Syphon Embrace. Probably don't need to go over those like what the bundle contains. Oh, she's riding a sword like well, a lot of Chinese folklore, mythology. It's probably folklore. Go. Do you have energy for skill? I'll try to build it. What's the ult? I think I like the default more. Let's extract. At least for animations, I like the default more, but what about the outro animation? Yeah, I do like I like the outfit. Outro's fine. I like the original skill effects because I like blue. Sure, you know, I'm probably biased. There you go. There's Nerida's Carefree Charm. Alright, this is the one I said looks like it should have been like a summer event skin. Did I either release it early or release it late? When she does have jiggle physics on the back. Well, and obviously the front, you know. She still has red particle effects. I think there's a bit of blue in the particles, but I'm not quite sure if that's true. I don't remember what her original skill animation is. I'll just assume it's different. Right? We're full like of clouds. I clicked so fast. Or more like the game was lagging, so I thought I clicked through the menus, even though I just double-clicked initially. Wamoko? Hmm? Whole live reference? As you can tell, I don't quite remember how to use user. Okay, my game is lagging. Yeah, it looks fine. It looks okay. I would still prefer the Catwoman skin though. It's your outro. Jesus Christ. Within all the new bundles, hers is the most, well, sussy. Followed by probably Acacia. What else do we have? Right, Archiverse. I guess it's Arcade Universe. Text doesn't seem to change. Coin Champ step into the Arcadeverse and enjoy thrilling arcade fun of the girls. With them cheering you on, unleash a spectacular cascade of coins. Okay, we're gonna check that out in a bit. I think we should look at the story first. And the game is lagging again. Holy frick, the game is lagging. No, right, that's back. Let's optimize Heimdall is back. Right. So within the event period, within pretty much all events I can think of, once you do the character trials, you do get the premium event currency. So make sure to do them if you don't plan on buying them. We have a new decoration, new Lodestar. I wonder, is the sword a new weapon type? Yeah, it is a new weapon type. Holy frick. Hold on. Echo. How many swords are there in this game? So yeah, there is this like 5-star Moonlight Blade. Yeah, there's no swords in here. Were there? Yeah, there's no swords. I guess swords are. Oh no. Okay, I was scared that I had to pick before I go out of the menu, but no, I don't have to. Shop. Oh, we can buy skins here. Are these free? It's probably not free. Yeah, how do we get these? Monthly card rewards. Okay, so if you can buy old skins through here, old skins and I think old weapons. No, sticker packs. Sure, but it's not free. You have to pay for them, and I was excited last stream. Right, let's get back to the update itself. Heartfelt messages. Heartfelt messages, I believe this is for Valentine's? It's probably not Valentine's, even the date. Done on duel. Is that PvP? Supreme Battleground, so that's you fighting against the mobs. Start with defense, fight for honor. Hazard sweep. Okay, nothing too interesting. Coin Champ. Oh, Coin Champ is the Arcadeverse stuff. Through these. You have your new material missions. Most of the time you want to farm here, especially the difficulty. Because that is what gives you this currency, and then you can use it to buy... No, this currency, sorry. This is a non-premium event currency. Fox carving, interesting. You can buy these resources. Around halfway through the update, when the second wave comes out, there's going to be more in the shop. Usually there's going to be 3 sets, or 3x3 amounts of these logistics units. Usually there's like 3 or 4 those like event free weapons. They're not really free, but you know, F2P weapons. then you get either another decoration or another equipment. What's it called? Like an attachment. And yeah. So remember to farm a bit of it. I recall you need it is advised for you to farm like 3,000 of these, and you also need to use them. How have I not cleared it? Oh, I have to do it. If I'm available. Okay, it's probably okay. Never mind. It's gonna come out when the second wave hits. Okay. So suppose it's time for just to like head into the main story. I think we've done the prelude. Yeah, we've done the prelude that stream. Paxtella is the person who drew this background, I suppose. I was gonna say it looks like Van Gogh, but not that much. I can't just slap Van Gogh and everything. Anyway, progress 1. Drink some water. Three days before our departure, the R&D department finally completed the full development cycle for the new exosuits. So it's if you recall, Acacia was... Is she voiced? Okay, she just has a cameo, I guess. Acacia had like a bunch of concepts for her new exosuit. The reason for that is because in her past game development experiences, a lot of concepts gets thrown out, so you might as well just have extra so that they don't throw out. Or rather, they still throw out a bunch, but you still get to keep a bunch of features. And my deck is numb. Holy frick. I have to position myself right. Pleased beyond measure with her own work, Rydia eagerly put together a showcase event. Sure. All the girls showed up on time, and the usually quiet meeting room was, for once, filled with cheerful chatter. And I guess it's not that, serious. I guess Luna was, Luna, ever thoughtful, placed a product pamphlet in front of everyone, along with freshly brewed tea and a tray of bite-sized pastries. Pastries? Pastries? What the hell? What kind of nuts? I think Edith think of like protein or something, but my first thought was that like is she like those like 50-year-old moms that just goes to like those like free giveaways that just like has a chance to give you like a kind of eggs. So whatever. While Nina and Boo whispered back and forth, Luna made another round and placed a small service card before each of the girls. It was good for free access to tune up with Frydia at any time. I guess Frydia doesn't call herself a genius without a reason. She clearly understands that human interest in science is rarely so, well, pure. I suppose not everyone is interested in science, because I am a bit of a nerd, a science hippie, if you will. I guess like most people wouldn't care about a new like species getting discovered or like a new compound that has been discovered to have a certain application. So yeah, the lights snapped off and everyone blinked in surprise before their gaze shifted to the hull display up front. It says Frydia stepped out from the shadows, but I don't know if it's Frydia like if we're like looking down to like see Frydia like from our eye level like go up because we're looking down. That's what happened. That's how angles work. Or if she just like stood up or what. But I guess she was probably like behind a curtain or something. I don't know. Frydia stepped out from the shadows. A second later, a spotlight locked onto her, illuminating the proud, confident smile on her face. Wait, Acacia's new exosuit has like a time certain like function, like Acacia grows up. So I wonder if it's because like they discovered like limited time travel or something, or like being able to apply time to a person, kind of like how in Endgame. What's it? Smart Hulk can push time through Lang rather than push Lang through time. Lang is Ant-Man.
実験の初期段階で睡眠カプセルに保存されていたアカシアの身体データの抽出に成功。そしてそのデータをもとに生態設計図を構築したの。要するにこの戦術装備は開発段階からアカシアとほぼ完全に融合できるよう作られていたってこと。検証済みだから間違いないよ。
Wait, what? Like, I'm reading it, but does she have an exosuit on board on the hibernation pod? Or does it mean that because they had Acacia's like biometric data, so they could like run tests using it first before like having to run tests on Acacia after the prototype is done? I don't know. I think something's lost in translation or something. Looks of awe spread across the girls' faces. Some had their hands clasped at their chests, ready to applaud. She pointed to a crescent-shaped component displayed on the hologram.
これは開発部が特別にデザインしたフェーズコアで、アカシアが貯めたエネルギーは全てここに圧縮される。そして狙ったタイミングで一気に解放すればエネルギーが究極レベルで大爆発するの。
I'm gonna have to reread that. Because this makes me wonder if Acacia has to like exert energy and advance to store it, or does it just like if she's not exerting it, the device draws power, so that it's kind of like a siphon. Almost a battery, but it's not really a battery. Man, it is a battery, but you know, would that put any strain on her system?
それがね、全くないの。この戦術装備はすごいの。生態設計図通りにホルモンを調整して骨格も筋肉もググッと短時間で再成長させちゃうの。
I think the better word for what I was trying to say is the energy collection passive or active. Okay. There's a bit of science to debunk here. So adjusting the person's hormone levels will not trigger a growth boost in a short amount of time, first of all. Second of all, growth is not temporary. So, something has to do with time and not just this.
再成長ってもしかして
In the dim light, the sparkles in several pairs of eyes became even more pronounced, especially...
さあ、リフの思った通りだよ。
I assume especially Fridia.
でも、この技術を悪用しようと思ったのなら諦めた方がいいよ。私の調査によると、これはアカシアにしか効果がないの。彼女が睡眠カプセルに入った時にまだ成長が止まっていなかったから、生態設計図に成長する余地が残されてたってわけ。
ん？悪用するってなんでそんなことするんだ？全然わかんない。
I guess Nita is more pure than the rest. So you know, for like Sirius, for Masiru, and for Fridia, they all want, you know, growth. If you know what I mean.
見た。
Yep.
まあいいや。話してもよくわからないだろうから、ひとまず本題に戻ろっか。
Apply something to my hand. Fridia sighed and put it to the side. The spotlight tracked her gesture and moved in that direction. Two floating screens stood under the beam, a slender silhouette outlined against the embroidered surface. Anyone could tell Acacia was hiding behind them.
ああ、フリティアが屏風を借りたいって言ったのは、ここで使うためだったんですね。
さあ、ではお待ちかねの時間がやってきました。
I think everyone should have some kind of like celebratory announcement for the exosuit, because every time a new exosuit comes out, it's always some new like science breakthrough. And also, I think it would be good for the team to know, like, hey, what's new with your equipment, you know. This is especially important in, you know, combat, of course, because, for example, if I don't know that you have like an explosive, then I wouldn't be able to request for it, or like, you know, whatever, to do anything with it. You know, it's like you're hiding some unique ability, which is more important when you have enhance on the field. So the girls applauded with full enthusiasm, but the delicate shadow behind the screens remained still, even lightly trembling.
あのさ、分析員は私の新しい姿に期待してるの？
I guess in Acacia's mind, she might be concerned if we would like her now more, or like her grown-up form more. So I assume that's the case. From her wavering voice, I could already picture the anxious look on her small face. Change or no change, as long as it's you, Acacia. I'll always be looking forward to it. Acacia finally relaxed, took a deep breath, and stepped out from behind the screens. Ah, my eyes. For dramatic effect, Vidya had cranked the stage lights to full power. Blinding white light swallowed Acacia, forcing all of us to shut our eyes and brace for the reveal. When we finally opened them, it's just like Acacia not transformed yet, or like transphased yet. Yep. It was the same familiar, comforting face. Aside from the new exosuit, she looked almost unchanged.
あれ、そのまんまじゃん。
I guess we're just showing her off her like base outfit first, and then activating the phase change. You just scratch her head, then couldn't resist circling around Acacia for a closer look.
おかしいな。なんで全く変わってないんだろう。
Well, I guess she was supposed to grow up from the like on call.
これが再成長した後だったりして、私としてはちょっと背が伸びた気がする。ほんの少しだけど。
So has she? Okay, so either the growth isn't as strong as expected, or how to word this? Okay, so there's two things. A, the growth is there. You know, maybe she did grow a little taller. Maybe, you know, she got growth in other places. Maybe that's the expected result. You know, because most people, keyword most, don't grow in any way aside from like muscles. People don't grow height, especially after puberty, unless you're malnourished. If you're malnourished, I believe the age goes to like 23, but normal people stop growing about age 21, 18 to 21. So maybe there is a bit of growth, we just can't really tell. That's a possibility A. Possibility B is that it's malfunctioning. She was supposed to grow to her adult phase, but it's malfunctioning, so she didn't change. Possibility C is that it does work, but Acacia didn't activate it because she doesn't how do I word this? Like, want to make the other girls upset that they can't also grow up the same way, because they all want to be taller and have a bigger bust and stuff like that. So these are the three possibilities I have in mind, but yeah, we'll see what it is. I'm sure Acacia will explain, or Freddie will explain somewhere down the line. She lifted a hand over her head to show the tiniest gap, a relief smile warming her face, and her voice no longer carried the nervous tremor from before. But she really does prefer staying just the way she is. So I guess I don't know, does she want to grow up? Because according to the adjutant, she seems to prefer not growing up.
その可能性がゼロとは言えないね。任務中にもう少し様子を見よっか。
You should know if it works, because she's probably witnessed how it works before. They probably ran tests, They don't just do this for nothing.
任務といえば。
I stepped closer and gently wrapped my arm around my neck. After fixing my collar with a familiar touch, she let her warm hand settle on my chest.
私が行かなくても本当に平気なのか。
Yeah, no, you need a new exosuit. Your exosuit is tattered and it doesn't show enough skin. Like think about the newer exosuits you have. Aside from Nita, because that's around the time I started playing. Like Nita, basically a belly dancer scheme without the veil. And then I'm not counting Nerida. And then we have Katya. Katya, you know, spats and like reveals the stomach and all that. Tess, basically a Hooters outfit. I don't know what to say. And then Sirius, basically a swimsuit. And then Fenny also has a swimsuit. It's more like a one-piece swimsuit, to be honest. And then Vidya is basically a bodysuit. And then Mashiru, something similar to what Acacia has, but like more fabric. Whatever. Point is, life, you have too much clothing for for modern power creep. Just stay home and wait for me. This mission is in a tough one, and I'll be back before you know it.
あなた、任務中はくれぐれもお気をつけくださいね。
I think Chensing is newer, that's why she has blue skin. I think hers is a bit older.
出発日がもう少し遅れたらよかったのにな。
Haru does have a lot of fabric.
もうすぐ名刀祭だから、旦那と一緒に餃子を食べながら葛藤を見るのを楽しみにしていたのに。
Mingdangjie is lantern right. I'd like that too. When I return, I'll make it up to all of you. I hadn't even stepped out of the building yet, and the girls were already clinging to me with quite affection. Feeling their longings, I couldn't bring myself to say goodbye.
はいはい。あんまり心配しないで。私とマリアンがついてるし、きっと順調に任務をこなして、すぐに帰ってくるから。
Also, the thigh strap is like, you know, there's this. I don't know how to word it.
ね、マリアン。
はい、アカシアさんのおっしゃる通りです。
A quick blink and a subtle nod were all it took. He stepped to my side and eased me out of the room, saving me from a knot of lingering goodbyes. But the real conclusion of that product showcase didn't happen until the day we set out for Michelin. What, is she gonna show us like what it looks like? And the three of us were already aboard the ferry from Ulster Polo Airport to Michelin. While we were out on the deck enjoying the sea breeze, I received a text from Fredia.
あれから戦術装備の各データを計測し直したんだけど、どう検証しても同じ結果しか出ないの。どうやらアカシアはフェーズコアの力による変化を拒んでいるみたい。今のところ融合度に影響は出てないけど、できればアカシアの状態を注意深く観察してね。
Suppose Fredia doesn't know.
何か気になることがあったらすぐにフリティア先生に報告してちょうだい。
He's only excited about this because she could further explore the technology. Put my terminal away and glance over at Acacia. She's practically folded. What the fuck? She's practically folded in half over railings, arm and upper body dangling there for pure look of boredom. Careful, keep that up and you'll end up in the ocean. I slipped an hour and... What the hell? I mean, like, what am I saying? It's normal that I can't speak on stream. I slipped an arm around her waist and carried her back to a safer spot, then smoothed her wind-tangled gray hair back into place. We've still got some time before we reach port, so if you're bored, we can play your favorite games together.
いや、今回ゲーム機は持ってきてないの。
Whoa. Why not?
あの時代の名残があるものって少なくなってきたから。
Oh, I guess like things are probably like breaking down and she can't get people to repair them or
もし
something.
なくしたり壊れたりしたら、二度と手に入らなくなる。
Yeah, imagine if, like, I have a Wii. I could probably buy like, you know, replacement parts or like even in a replacement remote, but I don't know if it's gonna work because it might be off-brand or what. And you know, if I pass it down to my next generation, if I have a next generation, you know, will they be able to like, you know, play it if they don't like pay a high price to get it fixed or something? Like, these are some concerns, and that's only like one generation apart. So, you know, one generation is going to be like 20, 30 years probably. So.
だから寮に置いておくことにした。
You recall, Acacia is probably like a few, not like a century old yet, but you know, like at least halfway there. But they'll wear out someday, so try to prepare yourself for that, right?
じゃあ、その日が少し遅れることを期待するしかないね。 ねえ分析員、その日が来ても私のそばにいてくれる？
Of course. She tilted her head up slightly and closed her eyes, fingers clasped over her chest, as if making quiet prayer or waiting for something. So I leaned in and gave her my answer. Oh, okay. Our lips met, cool at first, then turning warm and moist. By the time we finally pulled apart from that long and twined kiss, the horizon had already begun to reveal the faint outline of a city, dotted with patches of color. Is it that in distance? Like, I can't really tell. I assume that's it, probably, but I don't know. The people of Luciano are born with an eye for color. Taking in the view, I have to admit, there really was truth to that saying.
あら、そろそろ着くようですね。
Karen glided out of the cabin with her usual grace, and judging by her eyes, she seemed more interested in the smudged lip gloss on my lips than in our destination. She wrapped herself around my right arm, drawing in close. Her voice brushed my ear soft, enticing, and edged with a quiet danger.
分析員さん、アコシアさんだけじゃなくて、私のも味わってくださいね。私の唇はスペシャルなんですから。
I wonder, like, do lip balm or like lipstick that have tastes are they like more safe, like safer than like regular ones because you might be more enticed to consume it or like at least have it in your mouth to taste it or like on your tongue. So don't worry, I'll give each flavor the attention it deserves. Between our laughter and banter, the ferry had already slipped into Luchellen's bustling harbor. Stalls lined the waterway, and more low-selling trinkets, like carved foxes, or that. Okay, so that's why it's event currency. Well, some also sold fresh vegetables and seafood. Under the gentle sunlight, the whole city seemed full of life. It was hard to imagine that beneath all this common color lurked the pilgrims, festering out of sight like a wound that refused to heal. The streets were packed with people, so dense it was hard to tell where the crowd even began or ended. Just as we were focused on the road ahead, a sweep of rose red slipped before our eyes. What is that, blood?
こんにちは。セシルと申します。
It's not. Cersei?
はい。彼女は今のローズランに詳しいので、任務に同行させれば、あなたの助けになると思います。
Right, so I guess her design, or like at least live 2D model wasn't finished, so that's why she wasn't shown during the update preview.
ですが、これは私の提案に過ぎません。どうするかは、あなたが決めてください。
Capable Levantine agent. Sounds good to me. Let's go with your plan. Tao paused, a faint flicker of awkwardness crossing her face.
いいえ、彼女は私の部下ではありません。カロリーに彼女の経歴を調べさせました。55年に大学を卒業した彼女は、ユグドラシルに入社し、半年間、研修生として勤務していたようです。
Why does she use the word there instead of here? Because we're in Yggdrasil, so why is Yggdrasil there?
その後、間もなく退職しました。
Probably a translation problem issue. And Intel only spent 6 months in Yggdrasil. Then what's your reason for trusting her?
報告書と一緒に、この推薦状が届いたからです。
Al handed me a thin envelope. From the paper's coarse yellow texture, it was clearly old. Yet the envelope was unexpectedly smooth, almost uncreased. The moment I opened it, a sharp sense of familiarity hit me. The handwriting was still clear and precise, each stroke controlled and unmistakable. Here's my handwriting. So, past us, you know, the us that was in security recommended her. So, which department was she in during her internship?
安全部からです。つまり、あなたの直属の部下だったのです。
Right. Does she know that we have lost our memories, though? Those three words were almost enough to grab me back to a certain winter night, when memories blurred together, half hidden behind a veil of frost.
ここでは落ち着いて話せません。ついてきてください。
To practice these, Susie hailed a passing boat and hopped aboard first. Once we were all seated, she keyed an address into the boat console. Does it mean boat console? Moments later, soft music and a recorded announcement drifted through the cabin speakers.
結構いい船だね。
I think it's boat, not boat.
現地ではゴンドラと呼ばれている船です。ローズランが5年前に運送システムのアップデートを施しました。それにより無人操縦機能の他に完成 AI で総合管制できるようになっています。
What if we'll get to meet the city's AI as well? Let me guess, Catholic Technologies handles all the tech support. Marianne didn't answer. She simply gave a sweet smile. I could tell she was proud of what her family had built. Her voice was clear and bright, and uncannily similar to Marianne's. I glanced over there just to... Oh my god. I glanced over just in time to see a flush rise to her cheeks. Her fingers had already slipped to their console and turned off the announcement.
あれ、なんで切るの？マリアンの声に似てるねって言おうとしてたところなのに。
Well, it's either her or her family, or an AI using her voice. Wait, could it be?
実はアナウンスの声の主は私の姉なんです。
Yep, so
今
it's
の
her
戦
family.
争が終わり、情勢が安定したら、アンドレオッチ家も事業拡大を考えるべきだとずっと言っていたのです。例えば、観光業とか。
そんな日が本当に来るのでしょうか。今のローズランは現状を乗り越えられるかどうかすら怪しいというのに。
Luchella is called Roseland in Japanese. Interesting. Josie lowered her head, touching her glasses higher, as she murmured under her breath.
それは。
The lively atmosphere we had built quickly vanished. No one felt like talking, so we just watched the scenery go by. Marianne leaned lightly against my right shoulder, browsing it in thought, while Acacia rested her back against mine. It felt as if an invisible line had split the little boat in two, the three of us on one side, and Cersei alone at the bow. Arms wrapped around her closely drawn knees and shrinking into the torment. She radiated a timid, withdrawn air, and the longer she stayed silent, the more curious I became about her. Cersei?
はい。
Back when you were in security, did I ever mark you down? She paused, thinking over my question before realizing what I was doing and da-da-da chuckle.
いいえ。部長はよく面倒を見てくれました。
To hear it, I've forgotten a lot about what happened back then, so I was worried that...
はい。わかっています。また部長にお会いできただけでも満足です。
ふーん。まだ未練タラタラな感じだね。
Acacia slightly saw her come and drifted from the stern. Stern is the back side of the ship. Or the boat, rather. And Cersei turned her face away in embarrassment. And just like that, the distance and unfamiliarity between us finally began to melt away. So I guess Cersei probably had a crush on us or something. Back when, we were, working together. The little boat cut through ribbons of blue-green water, scattering glittering ripples. What the fuck? Holy fuck. Scattering glittering ripples as it carried us to the residential waterfront. Man, it's like those, certain sentences or words that people who don't speak English, or like non-English speakers can't speak. Like, Purple Burglar. I can speak Purple Burglar because I'm not of that, accent? Yeah, I think accent is the right word. But I can't really do, like, rap or, like, tongue twisters. Some I can do, not all. But, at least I can say Purple Burglar. After leading us through a few twists and turns, we stopped in front of a small, neatly kept house.
私の家です。どうぞお入りください。
I am slightly concerned about the security of this place, but sure. The furnishings inside were simple, with a faintly old-fashioned touch. A one-bedroom layout was probably just right for her, living on her own. The one striking feature was a large terrace facing the water. Cersei had a table and... What? Cersei had set a table and some chairs out there, and after inviting us to sit, she quickly brought out tea and snacks. So, shall we get to the main topic? How much do you know about Roseland's current situation, especially Sophie's plan?
3日前にソフィーが訪ねてきました。 信託とか巡礼とか罪を洗い流してくれる洪水とか、それって降臨団がよく主張するものばかりじゃないですか。
Okay, I just suddenly got reminded of the new season of ReZero. I wonder if, because of this line, I wonder if that's what's gonna happen.
もう誰もそれに騙されませんよ、聖女様。
Sophie took an unhurried sip of tea, a faint, resigned smile settling on her lips.
私の仕業であることは否定しません。今日はただあなたと昔話をするために来ました。過去の不愉快な出来事にいつまでも固執する必要はないと思いませんか？
They probably had some beef before. Like fashion said, they probably had some encounters before. She set her cup down and looked out over the terrace. The houses along the canal rose in soft and even tears. Their bright doors and windows, giving Roseland the look of a city forever in spring. A faint scent of baking bread drifted through the clear, gentle air. A sharp, helpless ache welled up inside Sophie. Why couldn't Lyosha and Elena live here? Why did they have to die in that dust-choked sanatorium? Was unhappiness supposed to belong to everyone?
あなたがユグドラシルから送り込まれたスパイであることはずっと前から知っていました。でも大司教様に報告しようと思ったことはありません。降臨団で下っ端から上を目指してきたあなたの苦労や分析員の名前を聞いた時のあなたの目の輝きを私は見てきました。
Is that what sold her out?
そのひたむきさに心を動かされました。でも残念ですね。彼はすべて忘れてあなたをあっさり置き去りにしてしまった。
Okay, so she was... Okay, so when we were in security, when we were both in security, we sent her, or probably not us sent her, we probably didn't send her, but at least probably some higher up in Jiggerso sent her to infiltrate the Aventus. And around that time, we were sent to Mistleton Station, and we didn't call her back, or we probably didn't tell her. Maybe we did tell her, but we didn't call her back or something. And she stayed undercover, and she eventually resigned, I assume.
私をからかいに来たのですか？
She gripped her skirt, and her eyes sharpened as they met Sophie's.
誤解しないでください。セシル、私は心からあなたに幸せになってほしいのです。
A gentle breeze passed by, soft as Sophie's words, stirring the water and swaying the plants.
数日後、ローズランは洪水に飲み込まれ、町のすべてが破壊されてしまいます。このことを分析員に伝えてください。あなた方が再会するためのきっかけと考えても構いません。
Time she finished, her cup was empty. She rose and walked toward the door without a word, her expression calm and readable. Seemingly casual melody carried a hidden power, leaving Cersei no room to act. Outside the window, the canal rippled in eerie, unusual patterns, stirred by Sophie's song. With Sophie taking the initiative and Cersei's ability not suited for combat, Cersei could only watch as Sophie stepped out into the sunlight.
つまりユグドラシルに6ヶ月しかいなかったのはスパイとして降臨団に入ったから？
はい。ソフィーとはそこで知り合ったのです。
じゃあ彼女が洪水の正確な時間を口にしたのですか？
ありません。巡礼者から聞き出そうともしましたが、曖昧な答えしか得られませんでした。
Hashtag soon. Susie shook her head, not again, however, narrowed her eyes, her gaze sharpening. She slipped her left hand under the table, dragging her nails over her finger pads again and again, as if using the sting to steady herself. Let's hold her hand. I put her fingertips in my hand, softly rubbing over her reddened marks. Under my gentle touch, she slowly relaxed, the chill in her hand faded, replaced by a hint of warmth.
ですが、嘘なら、わざわざ私にここまで話す必要はないはずです。
あれこれ考えるより、ソフィーを捕まえて問いただせばよくない？
Yeah, so it wouldn't be that easy.
アカシアさんの言う通りです。今すぐ家の者に連絡してローズランをくまなく捜索すればきっとソフィーを見つけられるはずです。分析員さんはどうお考えですか？
That's our cue. We're just about to nod at Marion's proposal when a piercing scream erupted outside. The stifling, heavy presence of Titan seeped through every corner of the little house. Let's take care of whatever out there. Fucking hell. Let's take care of whatever's out there first. Keep it quiet and make sure no nearby residents get hurt.
はい。
So right to combat we go. Okay, let's see how many progress there are so I can, split things out. Probably 5 or 6. Progress 5 or 6 if you want to do 2 streams on the event, sorry. Maybe progress 3 or file 1. Or, yeah, file 1 if we want to do... Is there no file 2? Yeah, it is file 2. So 14... No, not 14. 11, 12, 13... No file 3. So 13 bits, so yeah, it's gonna be 6 or 5. Probably 5 or 6 if we're doing 2 streams. Winding Alley. Who's our newest unit? Nope, wrong button. It is Goldfish. Alright.
なんでここにも変異者が？
ソフィーと一緒に来たのでしょう。
あなた、こいつら全員。あなた、弾薬箱を持ってきて。ヌルゲーだね。
There's a new gauge on the left. That was probably missing when we were trying because that's.
変な音が聞こえない？
水路から潜入してきたようですね。だからアンドレオチ家の目をかいくぐったのです。
ヌルゲーだね。
Yes, that's phaser.
開発。ちょっと面白い。あなた、弾薬箱を持ってきて。ローズランの小道は狭くて複雑だから身を隠すのにぴったりだね。
分析員さん、アカシアさん、先に行っていてください。私は塔に登って上から敵を一掃します。
メルゲーだね。あれ、私の体が。
アカシアさん、再成長したんですか？
任務達成だね。あなた、とりあえず一回セーブしようか。
I don't know if that voice sound would trigger if you didn't use your ult.
開発費の回収完了。
But, that's there.
じゃあ、とりあえずあなたとデュオで一回ね。見ててください。私の変身。あなた、こいつら全員ビジョン塔送りにしよう。
I think she's using the 4-star weapons.
ヌルゲーだね。あなた、弾薬箱を持ってきて。任務達成だね。あなた、とりあえず
Oh, I can't jump over
セー
that.
ブしようか。よし、向こう岸にも変異者がうようよいるよ。一気に倒しちゃおう。 ゴンドラで向こう岸に行こうか。
いいえ、それだと遅すぎます。
川が凍った。どういうこと？
あの装置はローズランでよく使われる防災手段の一つです。装置が起動するとナノ結晶触媒をまき散らし水を凍らせます。近くのゴンドラを見てください。船には座席がなく、代わりに熱を吸収する半熱バルブが乗っています。吸収された熱は後で外界へ送られます。これで洪水時に
手段の一つって言ったよね。他にも防災手段があるの？
はい、ローズランの外周には450機の移動水門。
これも全部仮想度テクノロジーのものなの？
はい、ローズランは昔洪水被害をよく受けていたので、アンドレオッチ家はその対策に力を尽くしているわけです。
よし、開発費の回収完了。
Okay, you have to be careful about how, like, if I'm here, it might not go to where my crosshair is.
レル
Would I hit the terrain? Dang it, I didn't hit. I think I hit, but didn't do enough damage.
かすれ傷だよ。
I guess that's it.
あなたが好き
I
な
wonder can her swords ricochet or daggers? Because if you know, in this game, there, depending on the weapon type, there is a ricochet angle. For example, lower caliber rounds have a greater ricochet angle. Is it greater, like not as? Point is, there's a bigger angle that they can, bullets can ricochet compared to something like a sniper rifle or a bow and arrow. So I wonder how the sword, like, does the sword ricochet? Maybe at a really steep angle, but what if, I don't know. Under a coordinated clean assault, the change in the alley will clear out in no time. After images of Marion flickered across rooftops and the long corners of buildings. However, only the one on the clock tower solidified and leapt gracefully down before me.
さっきなんだか
Oh, she couldn't clearly see Acacia from far away. Marion glanced at Acacia, a faint crease forming between her brows. Her lips parted, but the words came. She wasn't imagining. I felt it too. Something in Acacia had shifted in that moment. She'd been guarding my blind side the whole time. In that brief moment when we stood back to back, I could feel the girl behind me growing. Long hair brushed my shoulder, and the body leaning into mine carried a steadier, surer strength. And even her scent felt richer than before.
見間違いじゃなかった。私、さっきの一瞬。多分、フリティアの言ってた再成長なのかな。でも一瞬すぎるし、パワーアップした感じはなかったけど。
They drew on the transphase core.
雑魚ばかりだったけど、あなたが囲まれるのを見たら、なんだか焦っちゃって。
Oh, she was probably just only either receiving or drawing power from the transphase core just slightly. That's why it didn't last long. Maybe if she was stressed, or not like stressed, but like has enough pressure to like use it for longer durations or you draw a bigger amount of power, then maybe she will like transfer for long. Realizing she'd overreacted, Acacia tucked her head in embarrassment and kicked at the pebbles by her feet. Beneath her fluttering lashes, her eyes were like twin cherry blossoms, full of quiet affection.
可能性は2つあります。フェーズコアのチャージが不足しているか、アカシアさんがまだ完全に戦術装備に慣れていないかのどちらかのはずです。
Possible.
いずれにせよ、今後の行動に支障が出ないよう、仮想度テクノロジーのエンジニアに調整を依頼した方がいいと思います。
Demo. Barely got the word out before Mary gently picked up on what I meant.
でも、フリティアさんの同意を得ないと、ですよね。
Our eyes met in a brief moment of shared understanding, and a soft warmth passed between us. What the hell? Just as we were about to continue, sudden commotion flared nearby. Shouts and hurried footsteps tangled together, shattering the the residential block. A well-armed squad poured out from the alleys from all directions at once, surrounding the four of us in an instant. Startled and defenseless, Susie stumbled backward, shrinking away until her back was pressed firmly against the wall.
どういうこと？分析員、手を出す。
It could just be the local security department.
待ってください。
Marion stepped forward, placing herself between us and the squad. The guard shifted, splitting to either side and opening a narrow path. And that's her older sister or something. The sharp click of heels echoed on the marble path as a girl in a tailored suit approached at a measured, deliberate pace. With each step, her gaze swept over me, sharp, predatory, like a wolf sizing up its prey. Then, in the very next heartbeat, that predatory air vanished. I guess she was like sizing us up, see if we were in trouble. She approached in a few quick strides and stopped right in front of me, breaking into a wide grin. All the cold arrogance from moments ago was completely gone.
この人がうちの弟な。
I don't know much about like family trees, so I don't know what is a brother-in-law. Brother-in-law?
うち？
あら、ごめんね。テンションが上がると訛りが出ちゃうのよ。
I don't know what language that is. Breathe it off, already acting as if we'd known each other for years. Marion let out a quiet sigh and stepped up beside her. Standing together, their resemblance was clear, although the shades of their hair and color, along with their temperaments, differed greatly.
分析員さん、こちらが私の姉です。
マデリンっていいわよ。というか、ローズランに着いたのになんで連絡くれないの？港に迎えに行くつもりだったのに。
I wonder if Cersei or Madeline will be playable. And also Luna. I do want Luna to be playable. I feel like Luna would be playable soon. Mia was playable first because Mia came out like... She didn't... Okay, Mia came out in the same chapter, but Mia was at the start of the chapter, at least like 1/3 of it, while Luna was like at the very end.
少し用事ができてしまいました。お姉さんはどうしてここに？
なんというか。
Her expression shifted back to something serious. After a brief pause, her eyes settled on Cersei. It's alright, she's someone we can trust.
そう。じゃあ担当直入に話すわね。最近、町に変異者がたくさん出没しているの。私がここに来たのも、彼らを追っているからよ。目的もなく徘徊しているだけだから、対処が難しいのよ。
I mean, I would prefer them just wandering than like outright planning, like not like planning, but like executing some sort of assault. So he's using them as distraction to slow us down from fighting her.
ソフィーって？
説明すると長くなります。まずは家に帰りましょう。この件は分析員さんから直接お父様にご説明いただいた方がいいと思います。
お父様は、まあいいわ。マリアの言う通り、とりあえず帰りましょう。
Before long, a speedboat bearing the Andrade crest pulled up to the dock. I didn't read her name earlier. Yeah, Madeline. Madeline briskly issued patrol orders to the family guards while monitoring for us to board. Marion took her seat with grace, and Acacia hopped on right after her. When it came to Cersei's turn, she hesitated, glancing up at me with a timid look.
私もですか？
Yeah, come with us. The Andrade family estate sat in northern Roseland. The manor, backed by more than 300 acres of private woodland and surrounded by waters on three sides. After transferring from the speedboat to a car and looping around a small roundabout, we finally crossed into the inner grounds of a sprawling estate. Compared to the Genoa estate, the Andrade home clearly favored... natural scenery over artificial grandeur. Aside from the central fountain and a few central paths, lemon trees seem to grow everywhere. Lemon trees. The shade wasn't the estate's only charm. Lemon tree... What? What the fuck is that word? Wooden trellises connected by stepping stones formed winding garden paths, branching heavy with golden fruit hung over them, perfuming the early winter air with a clean citrus scent. We hadn't even reached the door when the headmaid spotted us and walked over with a warm smile. But the moment she recognized Marianne among us, and Soshan froze for a heartbeat before she smoothed it back into well-practiced composure.
お帰りなさいませ、マリアン様。
お父様とお母様は大事な話があるの。
奥様がまずは分析員様と二人でお話ししたいとおっしゃっていました。
Should we split up then?
分析員さんと2人で
It's rare to see Marianne this tense. Madeline couldn't help but let a small chuckle.
彼がお母様に嫌われているかもって心配してんの？
What if she's worried that their mother would really like him?
安心しなさい。みんな彼をものすごく気に入っているのよ。本当は今すぐにでも。
お姉さん
I guess propose their marriage. A cry, sharp of embarrassment, cut her off. Realizing just how flustered she'd gotten, Marianne covered her burning cheeks with both hands, seeking a mortified glance in my direction. I pulled her gently into my arms and leaned close to her flushed ear, speaking in a voice only she could hear. Don't worry, I can handle it. And while I'm away, take your vacation so easily from me. She nodded with her face against my chest, lingering there for quite a while before finally pulling away and looking with reluctance as the headmaid led me down another corridor. The Andrade residence was large, yet quiet. My footsteps were the only sound echoing throughout the empty halls. Before long, the maid stopped before a set of glass doors.
分析員様、どうぞこちらへ。
Behind the doors lay a sunlit terrace. It wasn't very large, but it opened onto a striking view. A green sea of treetops stretched all the way to the horizon, merging with the shadows of drifting clouds like an oil painting. The pale sunlight mellowed the hanging fruits into a soft gold, hundreds of tiny gleaming points scattered across the canopy like a river of stars. A woman in a blue dress regarded me with a gentle smile, the corners of her eyes touched with the soft imprint of time. Oh, so she has like wrinkles around her eyes. She had a similar hair and eye color with Marianne and Madeline, but her demeanor was more composed than the former and more grounded than the latter. She carried the warm, gentle grace of a middle-aged woman.
どうぞおかけになって分析員さん。
Yeah, she sounds like she's in her 60s. Please just call me the adjutant, ma'am.
偉い立場にいらっしゃるのに謙虚な人ね。マリアンの目は確かなようね。人生を託すのにふさわしい男性だわ。だけど分析員さんのことはこれからも分析員さんと呼ばせてちょうだい。
Wonder why we can't see her face in this artwork. Is it just because they don't want to have an old-looking character in their artwork that would like not be very well? What's the word? Probably would like decrease engagement is what I would try to say.
これからの話はうちの事情ではなくローズランの未来に関わることなのだから。
Yeah, they're the governor of Rosen after all. Her smile faded, the warmth slipping away as a frosted solemnity settled over her features. It's something that serious. Shouldn't the head of the House Andrade be here as well?
夫は頑固な人で何かに没頭したら最後他のことには目も向けなくなるの。今はまさにそういう状況よ。でも安心してちょうだい。今日話したことには代理当主である私が責任を持つわ。そしてアンドレオチケと仮想度テクノロジーを動員する権限も持っているから。
But let's get to the point. Since you've called him here for such a formal meeting, I assume you already have a solid grasp of the situation.
あの絶望の映像が放送されてから巡礼活動がますます盛んになったの。たくさんの人が歌声の影響を受け、バルハラに身を投げたいと渇望するようになったわ。
I just started drinking this tea because my water ran out, and holy frick. Every time I drink this tea, there's a few teas that does this. When I drink teas, at least these few kinds, my blind just kind of passes out for some reason. I don't know what's happening.
このタイミングでローズランでは新宅の噂が流行りだした。噂の元がソフィーであるという確証は取れているわ。彼女はイエロ社を出てから真っ先にこっちへ来たらしいわね。
Mrs. Andrade knows about Sophie, but Madeline doesn't for some reason.
あなたたちがローズランに着く前からソフィーの捜索を始めたのだけれど、今のところ手がかりは一切ないわ。
I'm sure we can probably cross-reference Cerisi's meeting with her, like to check where she came from or where she went, if there's surveillance for that.
ここまで徹底的に痕跡を消せるなんて、きっと宇宙にいるあの AI の仕業に違いないわ。
He spoken at length, and by the end, the light in her eyes had dimmed, replaced by a weary mix of uncertainty and concern. Listening to Ada had been a bitter blow. It left her wondering if even the technology they took such pride in could no longer be relied upon. Where would their future be headed?
分析員さん、ソフィーとエッタのことを知っているのでしょ？洪水。
私の選択が正しいと証明してみせます。どうか見届けてください。
Friends told me that, but until now, I had never been able to connect those words to the prophecy of flood. I paused for a moment, thinking it through, then nodded. Given what we know about them, yeah. According to my intel, the flood isn't far off, a few days at most. Mrs. Andrade shook slightly, then let out a long sigh.
それなら、早急になんとかしないといけないわね。
Yes, but before we do, you may want to hear what Marianne has to say.
あら、あの子に何か考えがあるの
？Hey, isn't this room the same that's in Genora Estate? Afternoon sunlight filtered through the curtains of the manor's sitting room as the maids moved softly about, setting down black tea and pastries for the four girls. Acacia made quick work of her cookies while Cersei took small, careful sips of her tea. Marianne, however, seemed lost in her thoughts. She stared down at her cup. Through the rising steam, the surface reflected the small crease forming between her brows.
洪水のことである考えがあるのですが。
As soon as the words left her lips, the room felt briefly silent. The other three turned toward her.
考えって？
Marianne set her cup down. Her fingertip tapped lightly along the rim as she searched for the right words. Only after a long pause did she continue, her tone measured and cautious.
さっきゴンドラに乗った時に思いついたんです。ローズランの住民たちを事前に内陸に避難させてはどうでしょうか。そうすればローズランは無人となり、ソフィーが何を企んだとしても住民たちは無事に済みます。分析員さんもこれが最良の方法だと言っていました。
She hadn't even finished before Madeline slumped back into the sofa, stretching lazily as she let out a yawn, clearly not taking any of it seriously. Why is she not taking her seriously, though?
マリアンったら、家業に関わったことがないから、複雑な利害関係を理解していないようね。
I guess Madeline is saying that she hasn't considered the politics, the economics of, like, you know, doing this. Politically wise, it means that they are expecting that the city can't handle the problem, and that would lose public trust. Economics wise, that means that trade cannot continue for however long the flood is expected to hit. And even after that, they still need time to like recover, like to repair what's broken, set up shop again, whatever.
アンドレオッチ家と仮想度テクノロジーの権力はローズランの外では通用しない。他の都市圏にもそれぞれの大企業があるし、勢力範囲もルールも異なるの。そもそも内陸にはデンドロンがあるんだから、私たちのためにリスクを背負ってまで難民を受け入れてくれるはずないでしょ。アンドレオッチ家が洪水で壊滅してしまえば、向こうには何のメリットもなくなるわ。こんな割に合わない商売、誰が進んでやるのよ。
Casually picked up a piece of cake with her fork and held it out to Marianne, completely unaware of how her sister's expression was beginning to darken.
このことはお父様とお母様に任せておけばいいのよ。久しぶりに帰ってきたんだし、夕飯は何を食べたい？
私は真面目にローズランの未来について話しているんです。そんな風に私を子供扱いしないでください。
Voice sharpened, anger flashing in her eyes.
わかったわよ。それじゃあ、私も真面目に話すわ。さっき言ったあの問題を、あなたはどう解決するつもりなの？
三大都市圏が簡単に私たちの言うことを聞いてくれないことは分かっています。ならば短期間でアンドレオッチ家の影響力を高める方法を考えるべきです。
Bit of a tall order.
ユグドラシルとの協力関係を強化し、アルスター全体に揺るぎない同盟関係を示すことが最も得策です。
でも、もう十分に協力し合っているんじゃない？これ以上どう見せつければいいのよ。
I don't think political marriage would help if that's what she's going to suggest. Malene shrugged. Her sister's sudden intensity had caught her by surprise, and even her pushback sounded less confident. Marianne drew in a slow breath. Her gaze swept over the room, steady and unwavering. Then she spoke with absolute clarity.
ヘイムダル隊員である私がアンドレオッチ家の当主となり、二大企業を結ぶ架け橋となります。
はあ？今あんた何になるって？
Yeah, normally in succession it would be Madeline that would get it, but for this situation, Marion is suggesting for her to be the family family head. The winter wind rushed through the lemon trees, rustling and rattling. A restless warning of the storm to come. Actually, do lemons bear fruit in winter? Do lemons bear... When do lemons bear fruit? Yeah, that's a great question. They can flower and fruit year-round. Okay. The main harvest season usually occurs in winter or spring. Okay. I was thinking, like, most fruits bear fruit during spring and summer. And autumn, but not winter. I guess lemon is one of the exceptions. Well, the more you know.
あの子を当主にするですって？少し浅はかすぎるのではなくて？
Reckless? I wouldn't call it that. As the youngest of the Andrade daughters, she's always been protected, and because of that, often overlooked. And now, the very girl long ignored by her family dares to reach for the very heart of its country. Is that courage not enough to prove how determined she is to save the people of Roseland? A faint flush touched Mrs. Andrade's cheeks. Her gaze dropped, a hint of shame flickering through her expression.
いくら彼女が真剣に考えているとはいえ、これだけでは三大都市圏を納得させられない。そんなこと、あなたも分かっているでしょう。
Karuyo. If one bridge isn't enough, then let me be the second. If I entered a covenant with the head of House Andrade, such a bond should be proof enough of how strong our alliance is. Oh, right. So we're married to Life. We're married to Fetty. We're kinda married to Masaru and Acacia. I don't know how that works, it's not really explained. And now we're gonna marry Narian.
制約ね。
We froze for a moment, the fine lines at the corners of our eyes seeming to deepen for a moment. but she quickly hid her surprise, returning to her sharp, calculating demeanor as she worked through the as she worked through the implications in her mind.
それなら明日当主継承の儀式を行い、ついでに誓約の儀式も済ませるのはどうかしら。
So she supports it, but okay, who's the head of the family? Is it Mrs. Andrade or is it Mr. Andrade?
そうすればすぐにでも三大都市圏の辺境制限を解除できるわ。
I don't think it will be that easy, but sure.
言われてみればなかなかよく考えられた計画ね。
Let's not rush this, ma'am. A covenant is no small matter. We should first ask Marianne herself what she thinks. She probably has the same idea. She frowned, a flicker of confusion crossing her face.
二人は昔から愛し合っていたんでしょ。いつかはあげる儀式なのだから、あの子が反対するとでも思っているの？
I guess it's kind of political marriage. Like they do like each other, but you know the goal for the purpose of their covenant is political. Ma'am, with all due respect, the way your family treats Marianne is far too insensitive. No matter what benefits the covenant may bring or how deeply we're in love, rushing this without consulting her is disrespectful. I intend to make up for what Marianne has been owed, rather than take it for granted that she would simply accept whatever we decide on her behalf. That's all I have to say for now, so if you'll excuse me. She froze in place, hands crossed together before her, tightening with tension. Her lips parted as if she meant to speak, but in the end, she only watched in silence as I left the terrace. And I'd only taken a few steps into the garden corridor when I spotted a familiar figure. Marianne sat on the swing, her brows slightly furrowed as she drifted in thought, completely unaware of me coming up behind her. It wasn't until I gave her the swing of a light push that she snapped back to herself.
分析員さん。
Waiting for me here, Marianne.
はい。ずっと帰ってこなかったので心配で。アカシアさんとセシルさんならもうお部屋で休んでもらっています。ですからご心配なく。
So Acacia is pronounced Acacia in Japanese. Makes sense. Or not makes sense, but you know, that's good to know. Because that's how Japanese pronunciations work. I know I could count on you, Marianne. I know. I mean, it should be I knew. Anyway, I reached out and ruffled her soft hair. A small smile finally tugged at the corner of her lips. Our shadows stretched along across the ground, swaying with the slow rhythm of the swing. How's the shadow long? It's only like 2 o'clock given the shadows. It's definitely not noon, because if it was noon, then the shadow would be here. If it's right here, 1, 2, yeah, it's 2 p.m. or so. Every now and then, our shoulders brush, and a gentle warmth passed between us.
お姉さんに避難計画のことを話しました。
Bush wavered slightly, and her grip on the ropes tightened.
でも当主になるだけじゃ足りないかもね。そうね。あ、そうだ。弟くんと誓約を結んだらどう？そしたら三大都市圏もさすがに言うことを聞いてくれると思うわ。
誓約ですか？
So I guess Marianne didn't consider that part, but we did. Marianne was probably more focused on talking about how the actual plan to evacuate and stuff would go, while we were more focused on giving the Andrade family power? Trust? Yeah, trust. Just hearing the words set a rush of heat to Marianne's cheeks, warmth rising all the way to her ears. The wish to take that final step with the adjutant stirred constantly in her heart. Her feelings were true, yet she couldn't bring herself to say it. And with Rosa in crisis and her proposal to become the new family head, confessing her feelings now would only make the covenant seem more like a means to an end and less sincere. Determined to preserve the purity of her love, she suppressed the thought and let her body instinctively lean back into the warm and familiar arms behind her. And then, what did she say? Oh, my keyboard.
計画はまだ不十分だと。ですが安心してください。すぐに練り直してお父様とお母様を説得してみせますから。
I tilted her chin up gently, so that her head tipped back without resistance, her violet eyes shimmering with anxiety. Why not just say it? Are you worried I might refuse? Her lips pressed together, her lashes trembled as the urge that she had suppressed welled up again.
制約は愛を誓い合うためにあるべきです。今それを言い出せば、それは取引の道具や切り札となり、本来の趣旨とはかけ離れたものになってしまいます。制約の本来の意味を守りたいのです。たとえ自分の思いを抑えてでも。
She lowered her head, her voice growing quieter but steadier with each word. A breeze stirred, brushing her bangs aside. For a moment, the only sound in the warm sunlight was their quiet breathing mingling together. That's not it at all. Becoming head of the family, protecting Rosen's future, none of those things depend on the Covenant to happen. Rather, they will happen because you're meant to take that position, to be that person, and to do those things. That path has always been yours to take. You don't have to trade it for anything. And a Covenant, it isn't just a deal. It just gives me a more justified reason to stay by your side, to protect you, and to walk that path with you, Marianne. Whispered her name and went down on one knee. Her fingers trembled softly as I took her hand in mine and pressed a gentle kiss to the back of it. Let me be the one to propose. You're my pride, and the girl I want to spend my life with. And if our covenant can become the wind beneath your wings and lift you even higher, then nothing would make me happier. So, Marianne, will you seal a covenant with me? Eyes shimmered, golden sunlight dancing in their depths. She smiled, relieved, joyful, and overflowing with a love she could no longer contain.
もちろんです。ずっとこうなる日を待ちわびていました。
I'm glad you said yes, and since you agreed to our covenant. Commander says the succession ceremony will be held tomorrow, and that's when our covenant will be announced to everyone.
お父様とお母様はすでに
Well, your mother has, not sure about your father. Marianne placed her fingertips slightly on her lips, whispering in surprise.
急に緊張してきました。
Then let's do something that'll relax you. I'll be here with you.
少し考えさせてください。
She gently rocked the swing, a smile tugging at her lips. Her fingers traced the rough rope, and something seemed to have sparked in her mind, and her eyes lit up.
そういえば、ブランコで高くまで揺れたことがないんです。
Because we were really high? It's quite recent. It's probably within the past 2 months or so. I did get I chickened out before it got like completely making a full circle. Assuming that swing can go like a full circle, because some have the rope tied to the bottom of the cylinder. I don't know how to imagine this is the cylinder of the swing. Sometimes it's tied to the bottom, like right here. It's connected here, so no matter what, the pendulum effect swings with this point as the center. Some have it more loose. It's connected to the whole beam with like a ring as a connection, and those can go in a full loop without the rope or the chain getting tumbled out. What's the word? Jangled up? I don't know. Because for example, if you have a connected point to a cylinder and you wrap a rope or something around it, eventually it'll get tight. That's what I'm trying to say.
分析員さん、手伝ってくれますか？
Really? Never?
子供の頃、足に病気があったので、ブランコで遊ばせてもらえなかったんです。だから、空を駆け巡るような感覚を味わってみたかったんです。
Once the usually composed girl sounded like an excited child, a sweet smile curling at her lips. It's kind of like okay, I'm slight spoilers. It's like the ending of Breath of the Wild when, and also the completionist ending. Zelda, because since she was young, she was always trying to obtain the power to smite darkness. So she's always been praying, doing good things, and you know she didn't really have a childhood. And only because she gets to set all her weight down in the end of the game, she has this grin, a smile, that's really, I don't know how to word it, but it's not, I wouldn't say it's ungraceful, but it's certainly more childish. It's not a good-looking smile, but you know, it's a genuine, big, happy smile. This is it. This is the same thing. Marianne, throughout this whole story, she has been, you know, the forgotten child, so to speak. Not, you know, not completely forgotten, but you know, kinda. Madeline seems to be their favorite child. I don't know if like for parents, is the older child the favorite child, or is it the younger child, or does it like depend? I mean, there's probably like a trend, like maybe like more of one side is favored than the other, but you know. So I guess it's possible that Madeline would be the favorite child, given that Marianne had a condition in her legs, as mentioned a few dialogues prior. So yeah, I don't remember if I've read this out, so I'll just read it again. For once, the usually composed girls sound like yeah, I did read it. Okay. All right, sit tight. I'm gonna start pushing. Anna adjusted her posture and gripped the ropes with both hands. With my first firm push, the swing swept forward, stirring a breeze. Scared?
全然分析員さんもっと強く押してください
I pushed harder as she arced back. The swing climbed sharply, almost level with the frame. Her flaxen hair streamed behind her, catching the sunlight. She laughed, bright and unrestrained, as each swing lifted her closer to the clear blue sky. The wind brushed gently past her cheeks, the sky and ground rising and falling. She could see layers of clouds above, lemon groves stretching across the distance, and a faint outlining of buildings along the coast. With every push came a sharp, exhilarating rush, the feeling of finally spreading her wings. She was no longer a sheltered fledgling, nor a swift skimming. Skimming? Swift skimming to closer ground. I don't get what that means. But an aquila, an eagle that soars high. I think Japanese is Egidu for aquila, I'm not quite sure. Okay, progress 3. Let's see, what time is it? So I can see how much longer we have time to stream. It's 9. Okay, I think we can do progress 3 and then maybe check out the coin thing, and then we'll be fine. It felt as a very skilled tailor in Rosen had been summoned to the Adjutant Manor, while scrambling to finish our outfits before tomorrow's ceremony. Marianne had been tucked in her room all day, caught up in makeup trials and the steady rotation of outfit fittings. Although the Anjottis gave each of us our own room, Keisha still ended up in mine. She's used to sleeping beside me after all. I feel like she should be like going back and forth between our rooms to like give comments on our outfits and stuff. Right now, she's sprawled across my bed, Ali flipping through a formal wear pamphlet as if she has all the time in the world. I guess she's upping us first, probably. Ali sat behind me, testing different tools as she experimented on my hair for tomorrow's ceremony. Her eyes were on me, but the focus wasn't. Her gaze had gone distant, her mind clearly elsewhere. She didn't step out of it until the sharp scent of burnt hair hit her. Oh, she burned her hair! She didn't step out of it until the sharp scent of burnt hair hit her. The curling iron in her hand was still pressed to a strand of my hair. It's just like a strand. Okay, so it's not, you know, a big portion. It's just, you know, a bunch maybe. I mean, we could probably repair it with our Taijin as well. She started frantically fanning at the thin trail of smoke, as if that would reverse anything, but the damage was already done. That bit of hair had gone stiff, darker, scratchy to the touch, and worst of all, it had curled itself into a strange little hook, poking out like a tiny rebellious tentacle.
ごめんね、分析員。ローズランで一番流行ってる髪型にしてあげたかったのに。
I assume we have a Hoge now. How about we just stop here? I doubt anyone would care if I'm the most fashionable.
ダメダメ。あなたはアンドレオッチ家の未来の婿なんだから。 明日はビシッとかっこよーく登場してもらわないと。
Okay, I'm not convinced your tools agree with the plan.
そうね。あ、ヘアワックスがあればなんとかなるんじゃないかしら。
Let's not bring hair gel. Fucking it. Let's not bring hair gel into this yet. Mallory, you've been distracted. Is something on your mind? What do you mean something? What do you mean something's on your mind? Her sister is getting married tomorrow, and also becoming the family head. Like, how is she not distracted? Hearing that, Acacia lifted her eyes from the pamphlet, her attention settling on us. Mallory let out a small awkward laugh and glanced away.
考え事なんかしてないわよ。
Eye detector is going off.
あなたとマリアンの制約が急に決まったせいで、あれこれ忙しかったから、ちょっとぼーっとしただけよ。
Hey, you were the one who first listened to the plan, dismissed it, then agreed to it, including the part about the family head, and then you were the one who suggested to, for the covenant. Even maybe Marianne had hinted at it, but she verbally said it first before Marianne thought of it.
とりあえずヘアワックスを持ってくるわね。
Fire compressor, she already darted out of the room. A moment later, her bright force carried from the courtyard below.
そこのあなた、家中のヘアワックスを集めてきてちょうだい。高価なものであればあるほどいいわ。そしてあなたたちはスーツを20着用意して。
Woody.
気合い入れていきましょう。明日の儀式はどんなミスも許されないわよ。
Speaking of suits, earlier today I got 3. Are they called blazers? It's the outfit part of a formal Western, formal wear. It's basically what you wear over your t-shirt, not t-shirt, shirt. If you're, looking like a formal business wear is what I'm trying to say.
承知しました、マデリンさん。
After a long while, the noise outside the noise outside finally died down, and the moment it did, Acacia let out a laugh she'd been clearly holding in. So funny.
ユグドラシルの大ヒーローがこんな目に遭うなんて。
I suppose we've never had something like this because Life and Fenny, as far as we know, don't have any family, or at least not close family. And they're not public figures. I mean, they are public figures in the sense that they were Valkyrie, and also are manifestations of Ikuzo. For Mashiru and Acacia, same thing. Acacia has no family, as far as we know, because she was in the hibernation pod and probably the only family. She was the only person left in her family. And then Mashiru, probably something similar. Similar, I mean similar to Acacia and Fenny, just without the Hero Games Valkyrie part. So yeah, and this is the first time we've been married to a girl that's a part of some sort of family. And I guess down the line, if we if we marry, let's say Chensing, maybe Boo. I'm not sure about Boo. I don't know much about this story. Chensing for sure. Chensing, and also what's her name? Clarina. Clarina definitely. Chensing not sure. Mia would probably just invite her whole class, or all of her classmates and stuff. And also she's quite outgoing. She might invite a lot of friends from online. She hopped off of the bed and patted over barefoot, poking at the scorched curl on my head. She tried smoothing it with her fingertip, but the instant she lifted her hand, it sprang right back.
ところで、マリアンとの誓約の儀式はいつやるつもりなの？
Not sure yet. We'll pick a date once things settle down a bit.
彼女の家でやるの？
Maybe. The Jodis will want to make it a grand event, but I'll talk to Marianne about it. Why the sudden interest?
ブーケをちょっと欲しいかも。
Oh, she wants to catch it. The what? One fluid motion, she climbed into my lap and settled there, bracing her arms on the chair's backrest and proudly enclosing.
ブーケトスやるなら絶対に勝ち取ってやるんだから。
She said it with absolute certainty, her gaze fixed on my lips as if she were currently waiting for the answer. And what exactly are you planning to do with it?
とぼけてるの？それとも本当に知らないの？
For those who are pure-hearted, or just have never been to, you know, what's the official name for marriage? Like, what's the present tense? What's the word? Wedding. That's the word. Wedding. For those that don't know, a certain part of the wedding, like after, you know, the vows and then the kiss and stuff, like usually when everyone is having the feast, you know, the bride would toss the bouquet, over her head. How do I say, like from the front to back over her head, and all the girls that are single will be behind her trying to catch the bouquet, and whoever catches the bouquet is blessed to be married. So yeah, so Acacia wants to marry us, I suppose. Did I read out the last sentence? Hold on. Oh yeah, Acacia said it, so I don't know how to. I shook my head, pretending not to know and making her say it herself. I already knew her answer, of course, I just wanted to hear it in her voice. Acacia's cheeks went crimson, the flush intensifying by the second. Her heartbeat pressed lightly against mine. Against me? Sorry. Quick enough to drown out the insects humming behind the window.
ブーケは幸せの象徴なんだ。受け取った人が次に結ばれるって。30年経ってもこの習慣は変わってないね。別にせかしてるわけじゃないから。
We quickly added that, then sat up straighter, arms floating defensively across her chest.
ほら、積極的になってほしいってあなたに言われたし。
I guess she's shy because she's like kind of muttering under her breath or like whispering.
だからブーケを頑張って取ろうとしたのも、私は準備できてるよってあなたに伝えるためだから。
Okay, so Acacia is not married to us. I don't think I cleared it up yet, but Acacia isn't married to us yet, which kind of surprises me because we met Acacia quite early on. Like in the main story, I think, have we met Marianne yet in the main story? Like in our exploration in the main story, because we haven't gone through much of the story. So I don't remember. I remember getting Acacia. I remember getting her early on and using her ability. I found her ability quite useful. It's useful because it's fast. That's what I remember. Silly girl. All you have to say is say, you know, I want it, and I'll say yes in a heartbeat. You don't need to fight anyone over a bouquet for it. I pulled her hair and she instinctively leaned in. Our lips just a breath apart. So, do you want it?
欲しい。
Answer came as a whisper, warm and moist against my skin, each breath stirring an itch in my heart. I feel like now's not the best time. Like, okay, so in the Snowbreak world, polygamy is a thing. That's why we're married to at least Fenny in life, and now soon Marianne. But I feel like it's probably just me in a monogamous society point of view speaking. I feel like it wouldn't be that good if you were to kiss another girl while you are about to marry another. Anyway, then she pressed a trail of feather-like kisses over me, starting at my eyelids, then down to my cheeks, and finally grazing my lips. When she was done, her golden eyes shimmered with a mix of anticipation and shyness, and she waited for what was about to happen. When I made no attempt to do anything further, a look of confusion crossed her face.
それで
Right, she was trying to be proactive, but she's you know, she's a bottom or something, I assume. A soft laugh escaped me, sitting on my lap. She trembled just enough for me to feel it. Didn't you just say you want to be more proactive? I'm letting you take the lead. You can do whatever you want with me.
私がするの？
Acacia's face instantly flushed deep scarlet. Her hands hovered uncertainly, as if unsure what or where to touch. Almost without thinking, she reached for my jacket, fingertips brushing the zipper, only to freeze when she felt the heat radiating from my lap. After hesitating for a few seconds, she decided to keep everything from her waist up on for now. As she squirmed in my lap, finding the right angle to embrace my fiery passion, I caught her by the waist, not allowing her to sink down any further. Easy now, let's not skip the tutorials and jump straight to the boss. She shot me a flustered glare, her voice coming out quick and a little breathless from how she was purged.
あなたに説明なんていらないでしょ。ただ私をからかいたいだけなんだよね。
Can you blame me? I just like to savor the experience. When I still made no move to take over, Acacia's blush deepened. She slowly bent down, her lips tracing a path downward. Whoa. I'm gonna get demonetized. Guys, now's your... What am I hearing? Is it... I don't know if what I'm hearing is what I'm thinking, but... Guys, if you're watching this stream, or like the VOD, now's a good time to follow. If you're on Twitch. If you're on YouTube, like and subscribe. Please, I'm gonna get demonetized. Before long, a wormfin switched. I can't. Woo. Before long, a warm and wet sensation enveloped me, and her gentle stream carefully washed over every burning crevice of mine. Oh my god. My fire intensified as I breathed in her scent. A soft milky warmth brushed with the lightest trace of citrus. As her head moved to take in as much of me as she could. I reached down and found hidden fruit. What does that mean? What does hidden fruit mean? I mean, it's either the honkas or the I don't know what's the word to describe the non-honka part of fruit. I don't know. If it's this option, then I assume it's the honkas. Okay, because this one can be for both, but this is for the honkas, I think. So The audio is not helping. The audio is not helping me focus on the option to pick. Let's just do it random. Game, hello? Let me. Okay. I'll just do my left and right thing. Left will be the top, right everything. I have my eyes closed and I like left. Okay, rub on it. Come on. On my teasing, the fruit quivered, and it's... Huh? Huh? I'm slightly confused. Did the options differ, then? Or is nectar like a synonym? Is like a representative of some other fluid? Because whatever. Under my teasing, the fruit quivered and a spray of nectar spilled out. Acacia's body tightened, and I felt a quiet tremor running through her as she swayed under the rising wave of pleasure. Acacia's eyes glistened with tears. I brushed them away with my outer hand, turning my fingers with her hair and gently guiding her to my rhythm. Her lips were flushed and slightly swollen. Her delicate hands strained to maintain grip, and she still held on tight. As she slowly pressed deeper, the fire of my desire was squeezed into a tight channel, and when at last it could be contained no more, her pleasure erupted in an incredibly powerful torrent. A soft cry escaped her lips. She blinked. Okay, I get it, okay. She blinked, milky droplets caught on her fluttering eyelashes before she could fully open her eyes. What do you mean, her eyes are open? I took hold of what the fuck? I took hold of her waist and completely embedded myself into her.
話が違うよ。 私が頑張るって言ったのに。
I'm slightly concerned because as far as I know, the door's not locked. So what if Madeline comes back and caught us doing this? Like, smash the woods between shaky breaths, caught between protest and longing. The tutorial is over, and now we're playing for real. Oh god! Please end soon so that I don't get demonetized. With that, we gave ourselves fully to each other, lost in waves of heat and longing. Geisha's brows drew tight again and again. Each little peak made her body quiver and fall back with eye-rolling delight. White dew borrowed where our bodies met, and in what seemed like an internal repetition of expansion and retreat, the little peaks culminated at the highest point. It wasn't until a cool moon rose in the sky that we were utterly spent and content. Okay, I was scared. I saw outside, I was like, like, was Mally, like, listening from outside, or what? Outside, Roseland's winter breathes a cold hush. But inside our little world was the height of summer. So that's the skin, tangled bodies, and breath mingling in the warmth we'd made. While we spent, Acacia was still entranced, yet her gaze held fast to me, unwilling to look away. No one knew how long that stillness lasted before a gentle knock tapped at the door. Please don't tell me they've been listening. I will take a look. I pulled the blanket snug around her, shrugged into my jacket, and slipped quietly into the hall. A sudden gust swept through the courtyard, bearing with it the scent of grass and leaves, touched by the faintest hint of raspberry. A group of long rose-colored hairs, rose-colored? Oh, it's Cersei, stood at a seam of moonlight and shadow. Silver washed over her, lending her an almost cool, distant elegance.
お邪魔してすみません、部長。少し用件が。
You got something to tell me at this hour?
はい。昔から遅い時間にお会いしていましたので、慣れています。
After work. I was gonna say after work at the security department, or as like at the night, so she can like sneak out of the Adventist compound and find us. In those days erased from my mind, she worked undercover among the Adventists under my command. Okay, so that is the recap for people only played up to Progress 2 and then like hopped off. I could guess what she meant. Back then, it had probably been the only time she could safely pass intel along.
アンドレオチ家に関する情報を入手しました。どうやら洪水の件で彼女たちには他の計画があるようです。必要であればもっと探ってみます。つまり誓約を結ばなくても済む方法はあるってお伝えしたいだけです。
I feel like she's jealous. If you recall, Cersei probably had a crush on us back when we were working together. So, you know, that's probably that part. You infiltrated the Android this fast and pulled intel already? I couldn't help but smile. Part curiosity, part amusement. Cersei, on the other hand, stayed as serious and timid as ever.
私も覚醒者です。精神系に近い力を持っているので、私にとってそう難しいことではありません。
Wait. Cersei could be like a support operator if she gets added. Well, if I recall correctly, you went undercover before the set even happened.
はい。当時はまだアポカリプスを迎えていなかったので、伝統的な手段に頼るしかありませんでした。幸い、降臨団内部はずっと混沌としていたので、私の計画はソフィー以外にはバレませんでした。
You worked hard. I gave her a light pat on the shoulder. She left her head without saying a word. In the moonlight, I caught a faint shimmer on her lashes, as if years of buried frustration were about to spill over. But she held it back. When she looked up again, there was only a fake smile on her face. As for the plan you mentioned, I already know about it, and it was a rather bold one. Your whole family be evacuating with the people heading inland?
いいえ、私たち夫婦はしないわ。ローズランは私たちが生まれ育った場所。たとえ助からなくても、 代々伝わるレモンの森に骨を埋められるなら本望だわ。
Got like High School of the Dead when someone's parents like decided to like stall for the main characters and you know sacrifice themselves.
それに洪水が襲ってきたとしてもここはそんな簡単に壊れないわ。ローズランの別名をご存知かしら。
Search for an answer, Mrs. Andrade picked up a small service bell on the table. With a gentle shake, its clear chime rang through the room. Within seconds, Headmaid appeared behind her with courteous bow.
はい、奥様。
机にある手紙を取ってきてちょうだい。必ずあなた自身の手でローエンさんにお渡しなさい。
かしこまりました。
During their brief exchange, the answer came to me. Roseland, the sea underwater, had been shaped by water since the day was founded. As the sea level continued to rise, its people spent generations fighting one flood after another. Over time, they built a comprehensive system for managing natural disasters. But for that system to work, it needed two pillars: technology and funding. If Catholic Technologies represented the former, then Miss Longyan, the partner they hoped to secure, embodied the latter, and her resources far exceeded anything a regional conglomerate could manage.
作州の友人が手伝ってくれれば、私たちの賞賛は大きく跳ね上がるわ。
You need me to step in.
あまり顔を見せない、ちょっとミステリアスな子なの。むやみに尋ねるのは失礼だから、辛抱強く待つしかないわ。
That's the truth of it. They never meant to hide anything from me, and I was never tricked into forming a covenant with Marianne. Hearing her own suspicion laid out like this, the color drained from Cersei's face. Her lips pressed into a thin line, and her lashes fluttered with quiet weariness. Cersei, you need to stop investigating the Andrades immediately. The trusted allies of Yakuza.
はい。
Oh,
すみません。
Thank you for the follow. Jessica Pop, thank you for the follow. Have I seen you before? I don't remember if I have. But thank you for the follow. I don't stream regularly, at least on Twitch. Never mentioned it. I don't recall if I mentioned this yet in the stream, but for those watching on Twitch, if you watch for I believe up to an hour and a half, you get different rewards such as premium currency, leveling resources, stuff like that. But yeah, any eligible channel that has drops enabled will work, but you know, I would certainly prefer you watch me instead. Feeling the space growing between us, I raised my hand and softly ruffled Cersei's hair. She clearly hadn't expected that. She went still, then gave a few small, bewildered blinks, like a startled squirrel that had just lost his stash. This isn't trouble. You were looking out for me. I'm the one who should be thanking you.
そんなお礼なんて。
Alright, it's late. Get some rest.
はい。おやすみなさい、部長。それから、制約の儀式がうまくいくよう、祈っています。
You give it a small wave, then shuffled back into the corridor, frustration clouding her expression. When she was sure she was out of sight, her steps quickened as if trying to outrun the doubt and confusion rising in her chest. That's the truth of it. They never meant to hide anything from me, and I was never tricked into forming a covenant with Marianne. Seriously, you need to stop investigating the Andrades immediately. They're trusted allies of Yakuza.
どういうこと？部長にとって、私はもう用済みなの。
The thought hit her so hard her knees nearly gave out. She stopped and leaned against a nearby tree to steady herself. When she looked up, pale wooded branches reached out through the thick and heavy fog. She stared blankly at them for a long moment, even. The longer she looked, the more she felt like one of the yellow-winged leaves still clinging to the branches, only one small shake away from falling. It wasn't yet the coldest time of the year in Rosen, but the early morning chill was enough to make her shiver. I wonder if the tree she's touching was like sick or like, you know, just not built for winter. That's why it's like withering and stuff. Or if it's her manifestation powers affecting the tree. The cold pulled her back to a winter in Midgard. A winter from before the descent, when people still welcomed the snow, when both she and Wait, she and he? What? When both she and him? She and he. Because she and he sounds weird. Anyway, when both of them lived quiet and eventful lives. Oh, so what time is it? 9:44. Okay, I'm gonna leave at least the story at that. We'll pick up at Flower 1. Flower 1 tomorrow. Not tomorrow. Next stream, whenever that is. Because that will depend on a few factors, like, you know, when I'm free, you know, stuff like that. I guess the only thing left is to explore the base. By base, I mean, I guess we should look at the interaction first, if there is one. Also, maybe check out if there's any new decorations. Unless the game forces me to go into a new area, which it hasn't. Oh my god, frame drops. Oh my god. Okay, it's just loading the lighting. I can do that later. Is there any new not new. Any new decorations? No. Okay, nothing on this count. Okay. Right, let's go to new area. Okay, you know what? Let's talk to Sirius here. Is it serious? Are you serious? Echo, fuck. She asked if you called. Yonda is you called? Echel poked listlessly at her bowl of vegetable salad with her fork, making hesitant, disgruntled noise. Echel does not like vegetables. That's the whole plot of Garden Mayhem. I believe Acacia and the Adjutant like working together to get Echel to eat vegetables, because the vegetables make her strong and help her fight against the change and stuff. Yada. I guess I failed again. Moonseki, you said vegetables are friends, right? That'll help me grow bigger and stronger? Yeah, why? Then why don't they taste better? Some are bitter, some are just weird. It's so strange. Okay. So for example, I really like tomatoes. Let's say tomatoes. I like tomatoes because they have antioxidants, they're sweet, they're juicy. My mother does not like tomatoes because she finds them bitter, they're sour somehow. I once lived with a young girl who didn't like tomatoes because she thinks it's watery and that makes it like slimy and gross. So she prefers to like stir fry it or like just cook it in a way that would dry it out. Yeah, just an example. I also like broccoli. I like broccoli if it was stir fried then steamed. But I'm okay with broccoli either way. It's just that I would prefer it to stir fried because oil and like, you know, the Maillard reaction just makes it taste better. I've heard that broccoli is a lot of kids don't like broccoli in some parts of the world. So yeah, just some examples. There are vegetables I don't like, and some that I'm neutral with or like wouldn't prefer eating. But you know, I would eat most vegetables and fruits. Durian is one fruit that I don't like because it's bitter for me. Well, well what? Well, Mitchell, you fought side by side with veggies in Garden Mayhem, haven't? Okay, so this takes place after Garden Mayhem. Truth is, after years of battle, veggies evolved to taste bad on purpose, so invaders wouldn't eat them. Honto? They did it to protect everyone, to preserve their nutrients for us. But if they taste bad, we won't eat them either. Well, that's because they trust us. No matter how hard to eat they become, they'll know we'll always accept them. After all, it's the only way to keep their nutrients safe for us. Now, what is that truth? Natural, your veggie eyes have always believed in you. You've got to answer that trust. I'll finish the salad right away. I also like salad. I guess we just never had any interaction with Edgehog because she just got to level 2 on the trust thing. Okay, new area. Arcadiverse. I don't know which is the default spawn, so let's just go here. Take a bit to load. Hey, we saw this in game. Not in game. on the trailer.
私のもの。
Yeah, this is the same as the trailer, but it's probably rendered in game, so like it will depend on your graphic settings. And also, like if you have a shitty computer like me, you get frame drops every few seconds.
まだわかりませんよ。旦那様。
Wow, you can see the veins on the Adjutant's hand. I just noticed.
誰が勝つと思いま
Like,
す
you guys see that, right? It's either veins or like the tendons/ligaments. Like the collarbones makes sense because, you know, that's very obvious, but I didn't expect to see like the veins and stuff. So there's an interactable thing here. Okay, we can't turn off the hologram plants. I think it's in this about. I wonder if we can change your outfit here. Along this way, let's see. Okay, is this... I was thinking if this is going to be a whole thing. So, Heartfelt Keepsake. Heartfelt Keepsake is basically collectibles. Once in a while, you would get some items. This is one of them. And you can use it to display on here, I suppose. What's the center of this? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, so this is the middle. 1, 3, 1, 3. Okay, so yeah, this is the exact middle. So we only have that for now, but as we play, we'll probably get, you know, more stuff.
ちょうどよかった。ゲームしようよ。
I actually have some gifts that I've never given to Acacia, but I guess we should do that in her room. Hopefully, I'll remember that. Let's look around. Hold on. This is Parallax. Yeah, this is Parallax, I think. No, it's not Parallax. It's 2D. Okay. Oh wow. Okay. It's 2D, but this rock is these like asteroids are rendered behind that moon, that satellite. Okay, let me see if I can find anything interesting from here. It's really weird that's rendered behind that because you know, it looks close, and then when you do this, it just goes behind that. It's weird. Okay. What else can I extrapolate from this? There's reflections. I forgot to mention. There's also that galaxy in the back. It's moving a bit fast. Galaxies don't move that fast in real life, okay? Okay. Ooh, huh? Claw machine. That plush is huge. Are you sure that'll fit for the shoot? Oh, it might not. I mean, the carrots will, but what about the rabbits one? The rabbit one? Well, maybe you need to like shove it down the chute with like another thing. Also, where's the claw? For the claw machine, where's the claw? I guess this is the exit. I wish they would make a way to like you can go here to like either go to the other areas or you can go here, you leave and you go to another area, like a specified area, so it kind of feels like a complete map. Let's see. Is that the cutscene we saw earlier? Yep, it is. Okay. If for whatever reason you wanted to review this cutscene, you can through this. I'll call you Mune. And also I can't turn my camera. Okay, now I can. Okay, we can invite girls here if we need them for some reason. We can sit down. Does she do anything with us when we sit down? No. Okay. We have Yao here.
すんません。早寝早起きさせていただきたく存じます。
So we can change her outfit to this outfit. We can change it to another outfit. I have 2 outfits, I think.
無理は禁物だよ。
I think it's better for her to just use this outfit here. She's supposed to be relaxed here after all. Seriously, it's here. Is there any other? Oh, an arcade. Classic Pixels, Ultimate Fun. I feel like there's supposed to be more text. Oh, wait. Star Master Donald Deal handles plenty of games. Why don't we hold a Game of the Year contest? You give it a year vote. And I don't think that bear is even bigger than a rabbit, really. You sit down here, does it do anything? No. Are there any games we can actually play here? No. Okay, so, you know, that's not playable. That's a coin champ. Okay, do anything here? Can't do anything with that. Kind of a shame. I feel like it's a lot of like wasted opportunities here. Okay, let's see if we can play the skating game. Nope. But oh, we can slide down that. Okay, that's fine. Let's sit down and watch Mia's Gat if she's here. I guess we can invite her. Let's slide down. A bit dramatic, but you know, sure. Let's invite her because she's the only one who's not here for some reason. Yeah, now she should be up here. Or not. Where the hell is she? Where the hell is Mia? Well, whatever. Change of plans. I'll do concept next time. I'm gonna go to Acacia's room. My stomach is not happy with me. I had diarrhea earlier today, and it's coming back. So I'm gonna do something shorter. If my stomach can handle it, then we'll do concept. By stomach, I mean my colon. Okay, so are we married to her? I'm so confused. Guys, I'm so confused. Are we married to her yet? Because as far as I know, we're not married yet. Like, for example, like in the story earlier. Oh, okay. What if this is after the story? Because after the story, you get married, or like later down that story. Okay. So, Covenant Keepsake, Echo of Destiny. Okay, the description is the same. But Aleph Scythe's Covenant Keepsake, memorializing the sweet memories of the Adjutant and Acacia together. You've been caught me in that pose, so what am I going to do with you? Just kidding. My one and only love, anything. So in the different operatives rooms, if you have the Covenant Keepsake, there's this basically image there. I'm gonna do the other one fast so that I don't shit myself. Okay, saving up lots of energy for just this moment. I'll be yours forever. Okay, so yeah, she needs energy to charge the cores to keep her transformed. So that's you know, yeah, we basically used company property to take a photo. Darling, I just want to hold your hand tight and run toward the future that belongs to us. I promise, no matter how time changes, I'll always be here with you. I don't know if that changes if you have a different, you know, if I use our base look. Yeah, it's the same, but just this changes, and also that picture. Get that. So next time on Story Containment Zone, we'll check out Conchamp, we'll continue with the main story, and maybe see if there's any events that's going on with the event. See you guys next time. I'm gonna have to shit myself. Yeah, see you guys next time. Be good, be well, be happy, be safe, be well, be healthy. Enjoy the next 24 hours. I'm gonna shit myself. I'm gonna take some medicine as well. Holy frick.